Hey Ratbags, it's Jade. A hotfix has been released for Grounded 2. It has got a few crucial fixes hopefully for controller. So if you're playing on Xbox right now, stop the game, close it down, restart your console just in case it hasn't appeared with the update. And on PC, yeah, just go offline and online, and that should mean that it boots up a update for you, just in case you've been playing it. What is there? It's a small one, to be fair. So we'll go over this a little bit, and we're going to talk a little bit about maybe what to expect a little bit with the winter update. Also, what's going on with that security fix? It does look like there are still some issues with it, so be careful. So, further improvements so that resources should not regrow through certain bases in certain scenarios. So this is a big one. Everyone's been complaining, well, everyone, but a lot of people have been complaining that, yep, they keep saying they should have fixed it and then it hasn't been fixed. So maybe, just maybe, what was meant to happen was everyone should have had their grass regrow back once with the hairy and scary update, and then that's it. It should have been fixed, that you could go and just chop it down and you wouldn't have to worry. But it does look like lots of you guys are reporting it's still a problem, it's still growing back. This is not retroactive to your save file. Please chop down these resources and they should not return. So give it one more try, guys, one more try. Fixed multiple crashes retaining to foliage. Fix the crash when navigating through creature cards. Fix the bug where players could have an infinite load on save files with vast amounts of playtime. Players should now be able to customize buildings on controller. This was a big one. You couldn't change any of the lighting, no matter how much you was tapping LB. The only way it would work is if you swapped it to RB, or hopefully that's fixed now, so you should be able to customize and do stuff like that with it too. Resolved an issue Unity that caused the art book to be temporarily available. So there we go. That should have been fixed now. That means it should be safe for you guys to go and install your art book. If you don't know what this was, there was info I dropped the other day saying that Unity, engine they use for the art book, even though they made the rest of the game in Unreal, had some security flaws since 2017. So that means thousands of games have been affected by it. Nothing has happened with it. No hackers have got into anyone's data, but just to be take precaution, they took off a bunch of their games that had art books. So like Avowed, like Grounded 2. And so now it should be okay to go ahead and play it again. So yeah, you should be able to go and look at your art book again on Steam. It only affected Steam users or PC users. It didn't affect Xbox or anyone on Xbox Game Pass, etc. So it does look like they have updated the known issues board. I told you guys I would go over this as I was waiting for a hotfix just in case a lot of it got fixed. So I think it's important to recognise this. Obviously I've read through the patch notes, but things like backpacks, they shouldn't be falling out of the world anymore, as that got fixed with the hairy and scary update. That, as well as brittle marble not being able to be looted in the Queen's Chamber. That's the one in the Toxic Anthill, I do believe. Red ants can spawn inside ground near Hatchery Anthill South entrance. Extended multiplayer session, the game may start or freeze temporarily. So they've all been fixed. What they're still looking into is performance issues, stability crashes. They do seem to have gone up since the hairy and scary update. Now it's meant to have done it or increased it by 15%, the performance. I've seen a lot of you guys complaining, saying you've had more crashes since. So maybe the hotfix today has resolved that. They're still looking at the issue with players living far away from each other, having very high or low ping, but apparently it is going to be fixed in the future patch. They've just gone and fixed the creature looking through the cards. We know that's fixed, so maybe it needs an update after the hotfix. Game crashes when the player has a handy net starts hauling planks, stems or buggies. And save games with 100 plus in-game days may get stuck in perpetual loading screen. So obviously they knew about that, and that's been fixed as well. Says here, fixed in future patch. Objective to defeat the Orc Wave is blocked if Mixar is completed before the encounter. That will be fixed in future. And they're still looking at things about repairing not working correctly when near another object. Clover leaves are falling through garden patch when harvested. Buggies have the chance to be summoned in terrain. Buggies have collision with looted corpses. Snap to grid options often snap building surfaces that is not targeted by the player. Weapons thrown in the snack bar front may fall through the world. Buggy not dropping backpack on woe mode. Client can get stuck in a revive animation. Dropping a held weapon when mounted on a buggy with fully inventory makes it disappear. And that one's, I think, it's mostly fixed. I haven't seen as many people complain about that one. Pouch with multiple items can disappear if hit. Wolf Spider and Praying Mantis nymphs do not respawn in Pine Hills area. I did wonder about that, because I'm sure when we checked some of the locations for certain creatures, it showed the mantis being up there. But I noticed that it wasn't appearing anymore when I was looking for it. So obviously that hasn't been fixed yet, but will be. Drinking from water container when mounted does not reduce first. Ice sickle weapons will not be awarded if the host was DBNO during the completion of the event. So that means down but not out. Entering acorn turret causes a fight, causes player to be locked in combat. Player cannot customize certain buildings. We've seen that one already fixed. Selecting different team after rejoining multiplayer save is not switching the team. Now, you guys have seen, I've seen it on a few of my comments, but that hasn't been fixed yet. So if you're stuck with a character, you may have to be stuck with it for a bit longer. But hopefully that does get resolved. Water drops stay on grass. Have you noticed there's a lot more water drops? That's because a lot of people complaining there wasn't enough. So yes, if there's an overabundance, they may need to fine tune that a little bit more. Resources flickering, tears or holes in terrain. They've gone and actually nerfed another bunch of these where players were able to get out of bounds. Spears stuck in creatures might fall out of the world. Drop resource stacks will fall onto the map. But it does look like it only affects more with small creatures like aphid and weevils. Throwables can clip through walls. Lots of debug text visible in the air. Player cannot click or press the command to use the storage chest sorting function. No buggy keybind options. Basically, there's no options listed in the options menu. Changing the same keys but used for other actions has no effect on the buggy. Movement bound to Z key is not working during building. I'm pretty sure Z's crouch, is it, on PC? I think there's some... Eric showed it off in stream. There was some problems while crouching and using it. Fog of War reappears for client after save. Wolf Spider default model is visible in creature card tab with arachnophobia mode set to level 4 and 5. Same thing goes for Axel's preview, which I still haven't seen in Potato Dough mode. Like, I've fought him about 10 times now, but I forgot to do it. And game is silent when sample rate is above it's something. So there we go. That's not too bad considering where they were at with so many known issues. It's been 2 months. And they have dealt with a lot of the most crucial ones. Obviously, there's a lot more fixes and issues that probably weren't being raised enough on here, but they managed to fix them as well. So, good progress. I did slate them at the start because, to me, not being able to play your game because it constantly crashes is just not good enough, even for early access. But it does seem like, hopefully, with the fixes they've put in today with the hotfix, we'll see a lot of reduction in that. And so now we're already in that stage. It's only been a week since Axel pretty much launched, but already people are now looking towards what else is incoming, especially if they took part in the PTB. The winter update is going to be huge. The devs are not going to reveal anything about it just yet. I still think this has got a chance of happening in December, but logic says that it might not actually happen until January or February. I've gone over this before, but I don't want to go over it all over again. But if you take it from launch, then 4 to 5 months means it should launch in December from the original time that Grounded went live. If we take it 4 to 5 months from when the Hairy and Scary update went live, then it will be January, February. The only problem with this going live, all this stuff in December, is if there's any big problems, a lot of staff aren't going to be around over Christmas. So my theory is that we'll actually get the PTB early because technically winter doesn't begin till like 21st, 22nd December. Just like we had the Hairy and Scary update early. That was meant to go live in fall, but technically the PTB went live about 2 weeks beforehand. So if that's the case for this, we could see the winter update. I reckon it'll probably take a bit longer with it. Maybe go early live on PTB, very early December, and then maybe go live at like 19th or 20th December. That still gives them a few days to do maybe one hotfix. That's the best case scenario. The worst case is we'll have to spend all the holidays with no real content when you've got all that time off. And that's okay. I'm not getting on their back or anything. The plan is the plan. But there's just so much stuff that would be amazing to play and have in time for Christmas. So Playgrounds, Sour 2.0, Peeper 2.0, Coziest System. The Playgrounds mode, it's going to be pretty much the Playgrounds that you had in Grounded 1 with no real big, huge additions. Like we might get a few items and placeables more, and I'm guessing we'll at least have the armors and weapons to use. But there's not going to be any new gadgets or anything like that. That's they're implementing the base version and then going to be adding to it as they go through early access. Obviously, we've got Ladybug Buggy and the Peeper on Buggy. Now, that Peeper on Buggy says, or was maybe meant to have been included in the last update, or there was some confusion because it was showing or it was listed, but no, it's actually the next update. Quality of life interaction improvements, and then of course we've got new buggies like Cricket and Earwig. Now, I can show off some of the things with this. The Earwig is obviously the elite creatures from Grounded 1 making a return. They obviously never made it to Grounded 1 properly, but I did loads of videos showing these. New variants exist in insects. We do think black ants are coming in with this next update. And I've shown you some other leak videos, there could be more. And then finally, yes, tier 3 equipment and tier 3 Omni-tool unlocks. Finally, anyone that wants to make more than one set of snail armor will be able to do so. And with the new sour candy, let's see what kind of effect it has on it. It's going to be really interesting. And mushroom as well. I'm really hoping it does mean they're going to change how the mushroom set looks. They've labelled it 2.0. If it ends up just being exactly the same mushroom set as Grounded 1, I think there could be riots. New furniture, new base defences, that could be exciting as well. Again, I hope it's more than just slightly upgraded, you know, the spike strips. They asked that question in Grounded 1, and like Adam specifically said they want ideas, and then literally all they added was the stone cement. That was it. No new traps, no new defences. Bunch of other stuff as well, like Steam Deck verified and crossplay, because at the moment you can't play crossplay on your Steam Deck. But all in all, pretty good stuff. That really is a monster update. And yeah, as always, I'll be the first person to let you know. And there we go, folks. I'll be back with more Grounded guides and news if anything develops or drops. I am going to be taking a look, like I said, at some of this stuff now, with stuff that was hidden in the game files a little bit more, but also returning back to some guides and getting everything ready, because it feels like we're now through the first chapter, so a lot of stuff is now set. So until next time, Ratbags, I'll catch you later.